10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is September 25th, and we've got a whole weekend's full of worth of episode for you. I'm sorry that there was no episode out on Friday. I wasn't feeling 100%, and then I was hoping to record on Saturday, but it's really difficult to find time on the weekend, so I'm really sorry about missing Friday. But let's get started here with this update from the Grants Management Committee. This is a post says, September 1st to 9th, 2023, Grants Bounties Retrospective Awards results. So here we have Schifrin saying, hello everyone, we've concluded discussions and scoring for September 1st to 9th, 2023, Grants and Awards round. This marks the first award cycle under RPIP 26 that used the monthly format. This is also the first award cycle where subcommittees were introduced. I'm happy to announce the following award winners. For those who did not receive an award, please note that applicants are welcome to reapply. It says the post also begins the 14-day clock during which, according to RPIP 15, anyone may file a dispute through an RPIP, and that's for a grant boundary retrospective within 2 weeks of the announcement, and then that will go to vote. Any awards not subject to such a challenge will become official on October 8th, and then people can start getting paid in the middle of October in the next payments round. So here Schifrin breaks down the whole post into different categories. The first one here is differences from last round. So he says, we had a monthly cycle this time. We had subcommittees, those who were already mentioned. We also had a negotiation phase, which I thought was amazing, and a feedback commentary as well. And then with the subcommittees, it says the new subcommittee system added a slew of efficiencies to the GMC process. Internal discussions were more extensive and detailed this time. The GMC had external discussions, negotiations, which led to better communication and hopefully results in improved final products. This is the breakdown of subcommittees for this round. So here there is development was Joe, Object and Phonax, research Annie, Ken and Mentor, and marketing was RPL, Maxi, Dondo and me. And it says during the voting process, the committee members had the opportunity to overturn awards from other subcommittees if they did not agree with the decision. And then there's information about the negotiation phase, information about the feedback commentary, and then the actual rewards themselves. So here there's research awards that have been given to Georgia Open UX, Shenodes, Arbora, Non-Fungible Yokum, Dendra ETH, Schifrin, Kalurduran, and then Kalagain, and then Ishka, and Kent Philly, and Kent Philly again, and iPod Labs was deferred and Aduri was declined. And then here there's information about the different commentary available for each of the projects that you can go ahead and read. And then the final vote, it says, the final vote, this is the GMC to approve all the rewards. It says the final vote was 3 in favor of all of them, 4 wishing to see award RA042303 to be awarded at 100%. That was from me, RPL, Maxi, Annie and Dondo, and 1 opposed to the whole slate. That was Object. Mentor did not vote on the final slate of awards, but he was part of the video discussions and the scoring. So I'm going to tell you a little bit from the inside of the GMC. I thought that this reward process was really great. It was a lot more focused, a lot easier to figure out who was doing what. Everything was organized really well. The subcommittees worked really nicely. RPL, Maxi and Dondo were great in the subcommittee that I was a part of, and it's just it worked really nicely, right? And I was really happy about that. So I was really happy about this rewards period. So now we've got 5 days off and before the next reward period officially opens. However, you can already start submitting applications as that's what I guess technically it's already open, but it's just we won't start reviewing it until the week after that. So you can expect a decision about those grants in about a month's time. So the really great thing is now that you'll never have to wait more than 6 weeks for a grant, or you could get a decision in as few as 2 weeks. So it's a really, really good system, and I'm really happy about it. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is Ramana's RPL buy party. So I talked about this on Rocket Fuel a little bit last week, but now I've got updates for you. So here in the post that started it, saying here's the deal for the party: as long as the ratio is less than 0.014, I will buy 1 RPL for every 5 buyers of 1 RPL that show me their transaction, and only valid during a currently unspecified time this weekend. So Ramana then tweaked that a little bit by saying that basically every 5 people who, well, in the beginning it had to be a minimum of 5 people, but after that everyone who bought, he would match that at 20%. So if a person bought 100 RPL, he would then buy 20 RPL in line with that. And then the first person to get 9 was RPL Maxi, saying it's officially not the weekend, but I just bought some RPL since I won't have time over the weekend. Will you match it anyways? And Ramana says, you're the first of the first tranche, but we need 5 people to get started. And he says, can you link me the cow swap order? And then that's what RPL Maxi did here. So RPL Maxi got matched. So let's have a look at this little GitHub page that Ramana set up to keep everything up to date. Let me just refresh it quickly. So here, at the top, there's some unmatched buys that he hasn't matched yet, and then below there's total RPL to be matched in that round, and then the matched buys are over here, and there's a whole bunch of community members, who we know the name of, who've gone and bought some for this purpose. And I, of course, was one of them just for the PWAP, but I'll talk to you about that later. And he says so far, let me see the full details. Let me see. If you add it all up. Oh no, that's not actually right. Where is that information? So in the next round, there's. Okay, here we go. So here, there's a 500 RPL that is still yet to be bought from Ramana. Here, there's 515 that he bought. Here he bought 100. Here he bought 527. Here he bought 46. I guess there were a few small buys there. Here he bought 140. So I think in total, here we go. Oh, I was just misreading it. So far the ones that have been bought already, so that's 6,667 RPL was bought by the community, and then Ramana matched that at 1,333. And then there's still more to come yet. There's 2,500 more that has been bought by the community, and then there's 485 more to be bought by Ramana. So this is really awesome. It's really added some nice buy pressure for RPL. Over here, earlier today, then Ramana made an announcement saying, so the RPL match party is being extended into a long weekend. Buys on Monday will also be matched. And then going forward from there, this is an example of Logic Point saying, hey, are we still buying? I'm tempted. And I said Ramana is still matching, and then there was a cow swap order for 2,300 RPL, and Logic Point said done. And I was like, this guy's buying too. I said, was that you, seriously? And I said, get Ramana to match it, and then here's where it went through on the bot. You can see it, and that was, of course, Logic Point saying I just DM'd Ramana about that. So people are buying. There's some really nice quantities of buys. So that was, of course, Logic Points who bought 2,300, and then we also had Tariq who bought 2,350, and then we also had here Ballin.eth bought 2,239. So there was some, and then Kevster bought approximately 500 as well. So there was some really nice big buys that were taking place. I don't even know what I bought. I think I bought 2.6. Yeah, like I said, I just did it for the PWAP. So now you might be wondering, what is the PWAP? Well, here Shifrin made a PWAP saying Ramana's buy party matching RPL buys at 20%, and then it says let's buy some RPL, and basically if you are one of the people that Ramana has matched, then you'll get a PWAP saying to boost everyone's spirits in the Rocket Pool community, our esteemed friend Ramana through an RPL buying bash from September 22nd to September 24th. Ramana even promised to snag some RPL for every 5 purchases made by our community members. So that description needs fixing, I think. And then members who participated receive special POAP designed by Schifrin. So that has not been distributed yet. I guess Schifrin will distribute that once the buying party is over. Okay. Next, we've got some more GMC news here that I'm really proud of. So I talked a few weeks ago about this post about maybe a month ago about the GMC thinking of diversifying its treasury away from RPL and adding some stable coins because people want to be paid in stable coins sometimes. I have no idea why they don't want to do that, but that's fine, I guess, for them. Anyway, Schifrin had this update saying the GMC has made the strategic decision to allocate 20% of incoming payments each month into either USDC or LUSD, which of course is Liquidity's stablecoin. The administrator will apply their expertise to determine the optimal choice of token, considering factors like liquidity and prevailing market prices at the conversion moment. The primary focus will be on LUSD, given its high degree of decentralization, unless it trades at a premium exceeding 2%. For future rewards paid in LUSD, the amount will be paid in units rather than the market value converted to USD. So if you apply for a grant and it's $20,000 and you say that you want LUSD for that, then you will get 20,000 LUSD, whether that's worth 19,000 or 21,000. Like, it doesn't make a difference. You'll just get 20,000 LUSD. So that is something I'm really happy about. Like, I'm so happy that, decentralized protocols are working together and boosting each other along with that, which is, of course, always lovely to see. Sam from the Liquidity team, gave this a boost on their socials as well. And that's always cool as well. But so every month here, there's details in the first post here. It says the GMC receives 3,275 RPL. So the GMC will be selling 20% of that, which is just over 600 RPL, 650 something RPL. 600, whatever, something around those numbers. Anyway, 650 something RPL. So that's really nice, and I think that's a really good idea from the GMC to do that. Okay, next we have some IMC news, and here there's a post saying IMC membership change. Valdov has this post saying, hi all, I wanted to loop you in on some IMC membership changes. Langers will be leaving his spot as a member of the IMC. Dave will be leaving his spot as a backup signer. Per RPIP 10, the vacancy will be filled by drworm.eth. They've signed a message at etherscan.io, verify, blah, 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 and will comment here and on Discord. Thanks to the service, Langers and Dave. Please welcome Dr. Worm. And then Dr. Worm here says, looking forward to serving on the IMC. And then here there's information. And then I asked Val, so why are Langers and Dave leaving the IMC? And Valdov did a shrug, and he says, a voluntary post. If they want to add something, they're of course welcome to add whatever they want, explaining why they're no longer on the IMC. And he goes on to say, I'll note Dave wasn't a member, he was just acting as a backup signer. And Val goes on to say that I honestly think that they have probably have better uses for their time, like developing the protocols and everything a lot attached with that. So I said, for sure. I was just curious if a reason was given, but so far there is still no reason given as far as I know. Let's have a look at this next thing here. So if you have a look at vote.rocketpool.net, you'll see that there is a test vote here saying test proposal using version 2, testing ends in 2 weeks. So what is happening here is actually, no, that was I clicked on the wrong thing. What's happening here is I think the team are getting ready for the vote about RPIP 4 intentions, whether you are in favor of that or reject it. And the idea is, of course, where should voting power lie? Should it be from 0 to 150%, or should it stay at 10 to 150% like it is right now? So there's this whole big vote that's going to happen at some point very soon, because a lot of governance stuff is held up until that vote goes through, including the tokenomics changes. So it looks like once that vote goes through, then we can expect the tokenomics changes vote to come up very soon. So if you are all curious about the tokenomics change vote, then get involved. Read up about that now, because we'll be going to vote on that before you know it. Okay, next here we have some info from Luke, who says, did you know you can now use RPL as collateral to buy more RPL in Binance? It's now possible to open a margin position, which is a leverage long on RPL on the Binance spot market, even using your RPL as collateral, possibly via recently enabled cross-margin mode on Binance Spot. The isolated margin mode, which was until recently the only option for margin trading RPL on Binance, doesn't allow that, and the USDT borrowing in the isolated mode is very limited regardless, unless you're a VIP. So I said this might either be amazing or timing or horrible timing, and then I said, how do liquidations work? So he says it sells your position partially or wholly to cover the debt. And then it kind of tells you about how it all works. So there's different tiers. So if you have 0 to 50,000 US dollars worth of crypto, then your collateral ratio is 100%. If you have 50,000 to 200,000, your collateral ratio is 60%. If you have 200,000 to a million, then your collateral ratio is 10%. And if you have 1 million to 100 million, then your collateral ratio is 0%. So Binance, of course, is always doing their stuff. Here it says, the first 50k of RPL counts as 100%. The next 150k of RPL is used as collateral only for 60% of its value. And since we're in a very special situation, this is something probably with great risk and return. And you could always add more collateral to not get liquidated. So I go on to say it's risky AF. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Binance trades against their customers, which, there have been allegations of before. I don't know where that stands now. Of course, please, CZ, don't send your lawyers after me. But for example, if an exchange was trading against its customers, it might be beneficial for the exchange to drive the price down to get the customer liquidated and then buy up all that cheap crypto. So I'm not sure. Of course, I'm not making any allegations against Binance of doing anything like that. But yeah, there's no allegation, but maybe other exchanges might have done something like that in the past. Anyway, Luke goes on to say, for traders, this is for traders, not for regular investors. Someone who's not used to trading on margin should not use this. Don't gamble if you don't know what you're doing, but it's something people should be aware that it exists now. So that if you are all interested in going leverage long on your RPL, Binance will now give you the option to do it. I would not use that at all, but hey, other people are a lot more degen than I am, so good luck to them. Like I said, my response to this was, my response to this was, either this is amazing timing or it's horrible timing. Amazing timing in that if we've reached the bottom of this bear cycle, then if you go long now, then everything, any gain that comes ahead will be huge bonuses. Of course, the horrible timing part could be all this FUD that's going around about prices hitting new lows, etc. And if that's the case, then, it might be that you'll get liquidated before long, and that would not be fun for anyone. So please be cautious. Do your own research before you are involved in anything like this, because, you could get liquidated very quickly, and that is not nice for anyone. Okay, next we talking about liquidations. Next we had this post here, which was a transaction came up of 10,000 RPL being bought, which was $210,000. Now the reason why I'm flagging this up because is this person bought this RPL to repay a debt to Aave. Now a few weeks ago we talked about people who were using Aave to short RPL, and one of the shorters was potentially kind of like squeezed, not really squeezed, but kind of hounded out of their position and kind of fumbled it. I guess a couple of others maybe didn't. So it seems like this person basically borrowed 10,000 RPL from Aave, took that to whatever. I think they sold it, and then now basically buying back to repay their loan. And I think this person made a decent amount of profit. So there is that scope available for people to trade and short and long RPL, and now you can do both sides of that. The shorting of course can happen through Aave borrowing. I guess that could also be longing. No, that's not longing, that's only shorting, because if the ratio moves up then you get liquidated. But through Binance now you can go long as well. So those are options available for people out there if you are curious about them. Okay, next we have this update from Joe saying this week is National Get a Holesky 2 release ready week, and I think basically what Joe might be insinuating is that there's like Object says here, he says when Holesky 2 ready Smartnode, and he says that's what I meant with this. I had one ready for version 1, but and then he says, is the chain ID still the same? Non-fungible Yoakum says that's what I heard. They were going to make sure the Genesis was different though, to keep everyone that participated in Holesky Classic from being slashed. And Joe says all right. So it looks like at some point Joe will be working on getting Smartnode stack ready for Holesky. Of course, we want people to be testing rocket pool staking on ETH testnets before they move on to mainnet, if that's what they want to do. So soon you'll be able to do that on Holesky as well. So that's really cool. Here we have ETH staker who are doing a call that will go live in 2 days on September 28th at 1:30 p.m. Prague time, which is where I guess the headquarters of one of the clients is, and that's where they're going to be like having a party for it. That's 7:30 a.m. Eastern time if you only work with American times. But this is going to happen just over 2 days. So that's really exciting. That hopefully this time it'll go through without any problems. Okay, next we have this post from Stacey Moore, who is a person working with Messari, I think, or they're summarizing a report from Messari. So here it says Ethereum staking, the challenges and solutions for decentralization and economic security. They're talking about all the different things that are happening. So 25 million ETH is staked, that's 22% of the supply. However, there's opportunities and challenges. So here some of the challenges are consensus delays, economic risks, and Lido's dominance being a big challenge. Then there's some potential solutions here that Stacey talks about, such as EIP 7514, which will slow down the churn of new people coming online. And then there's Lido's governance, working towards further decentralization, and they want a dual governance system with a decentralized validator set. And then there's user activism, such as a social push to make users aware of the risks with having one entity having too much stake. And then there's eigenlayer stuff that might be happening as well, where incentives from eigenlayer will create real dollar incentives for choosing more decentralized staking options. And then it says, what will the impact of this be on Lido and competitors? So the Stacey saying, given that for Lido's future, given these challenges and discourse surrounding staking, Messari Crypto foresees Lido maintaining a 32% staking share for going forward, like for the foreseeable future, but not crossing 33%, and not because of Lido's own limiting or anything like that, but because of the social pressures that Stacey mentioned above. And social push. And then she talks about valuation, saying that Messari's valuation model suggests a fair value for the LDO token at around $1.70. Its current price is $1.50, saying that it's undervalued. And then she talks about Rocket Pool here, saying that with eigenlayer incentives and raising awareness about decentralization, Rocket Pool could see its staking share grow. Messari suggests a fair value for the RPL token at $38, which is a 75% increase of where we are right now. And then, the PS here is that this tweet as a TLDR of Messari's latest report on Ethereum staking, and many thanks to for the team, their in-depth research, and Stacey says their paid subscription is worth every cent I pay for it. I don't pay for it, so I don't know if it's worth it or not. Sorry. But then we also had Samish here, who I think works with Messari. Let me see. I'm not sure about that, but they retweeted that saying Messari predicts that Lido will stay close to 32% and is more bullish for RPL. So of course, the the Rocket Pool community really liked that. Invis says, Eigenlayer these nuts. What else would you expect? And then Dondo says, is Rocket Pool doing enough biz development with Eigenlayer right now? And then Jasper says, more than you know. I found myself as a project manager. I should emphasize that Rocket Pool team core team is constrained. And Dondo says, if you need support, feel free to DM me. And that's really good to hear. And Jasper says, if someone good with keeping people accountable wants to join as a project manager, that would be cool. And then that's where that conversation kind of went. And then Schifrin was tagged in that. Of course, we love Schifrin. And then Jasper says it would be better to have someone not on the GMC, because then the incentives start to come into play, and I don't know if Eigenlayer will be applying for grants or anything like that. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But yeah, $38 RPL. I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, next we have a couple of posts from JT. And one of them here is a video that JT made about Rocket School and staking with Rocket School. And there's like a little time lapse of him setting up his studio, like making a new chalkboard and everything. Let me see if I can skip to the relevant bit at the end where he's got everything working. And then he's got like this light systems and like the whole lot, and like projecting and like wrote out the logo Rocket School. Like it looks really good, so he's working really hard on that. And then there's more tweets as well. So here he gave a tour of his studio, saying that Rocket School is ready to launch, and like here it is, just giving like a walkthrough of the space and what it's all going to look like, with these models of rockets and stuff. And what I should say here is, going back all the way to the beginning of the episode, one of the places that gotten a grant was this one, which was Rocket School, and they got a $10,000 grant. So that will I think there was some more information about that as well. Yeah, he says, let me see, Rocket School, the GMC has reached an agreement with the applicant where they have established clear monthly milestones for 3 months. Each will be rewarded at $3,333 upon successful completion. The total funding will be $9,999. These funds are specifically allocated for website updates, video scripting and production, and course development. So that is some of the stuff that this is going to go into, which is really great to see that JT's also already getting ahead on that. So good job. Okay, next we had this post from CoinDesk who say how to stake 7 strategies when starting out. And the reason why I'm covering this in today's episode is because of here strategy number 4, saying swim in the pool if you know the risks. And in this section they talk about Lido, Stakewise and Rocket Pool, and a brief idea of how it works and what some of the benefits of it are and what some of the risks of it are. There is some information here that's kind of not 100% accurate, but it's directionally correct. So I thought I'd give it a shout. And here, it's CoinDesk, and they're very well reputed media organization in crypto. So it's nice when they talk about Rocket Pool. Okay, next I'm going to be talking about the Ethereum validator queue really quickly. And the reason why I'm covering it is because the wait time to start a new validator now is down to 7 days and 24 hours. If you looked at that Hodger chart I shared a few months ago, that means that, converting your mini pool 16 to an LEB 8 would be profitable within a number of days, covering for, the very low gas environment that we're in right now. Gas is down to 6, 7, 8 GWE quite frequently, almost every day, and then with the weight being so low as well, it only makes sense now for people who are still on mini LEB 16 mini pool 16s to change their validators over to LEB 8s. The deposit pool is full with 18,000 ETH in there, so it's ready for huge conversions to happen. And of course the other thing here as well is that we have it's happening very quickly. So you lose out on very, very few rewards, and you immediately start accruing awards at a way higher price. So that is something really, really good to look at now. So hey, if you're still on mini pool 16s, now's the time for you to switch over to LEB 8s. Okay, and finally, we're going to cover this episode with some news coming out of Gravita. We talked about Gravita a couple of weeks ago, where they're starting the Ascent program. The Ascent program, of course, is a program that will, I think, basically let you earn points towards an airdrop. Now, here they're saying calling the best and brightest to design and execute missions involving community-led research and discovery and diplomatic relations with other systems. Come be a part of the force that brings the most distant spaces closer together. And then there's a link to their Discord where it says, we on the early journeyers will convene on 30th of September to plan a series of friendly missions to neighboring systems. We aim to explore the diversity of this vibrant space that we call home. So if you are at all interested in helping Gravita work towards building bridges to other protocols and teams, I think you'll be getting Ascent points for this, which will eventually become an airdrop. I think. I've not been told that. I've not talked to anybody on the team about the relationship between Ascent and points, but that's just my assumption. So if you are curious about that, go and do that. Go and find out what's going on there. Anyway, with that note, I'm going to end today's episode. I hope you all had lovely weekends, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.